everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Today's Tag Tuesday and I'm going to be doing two tags, the book buying tag and the Déjà Vu reread tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. And today I'm going to be doing two tags for you because I'm a bit behind with all the many tags that I've been tagged in. So I thought I would put two together today, and we've got the book buying tag and the Déjà Vu reread tag. So the book buying tag, which I'm going to do first, the original was by One Book, One Review, and I was tagged by the lovely Nikki at Reread. I will link both of their videos of this down below. For the Déjà Vu reread tag, which I'm going to get to second, the original was by Walker Wright 7, and I was tagged by the lovely Emily at Novell Novels. I will link both of their videos of this tag in the description down below for you to check out. Let's begin with the book buying tag. And hopefully the book buying tag won't take very long because I'm not supposed to be buying books. So question one is, where do you buy your books from? And the answer is, where don't I buy my books from? So when I am buying books, I will buy books pretty much anywhere. So I'll buy books in second-hand shops, charity shops, full price new book shops. I'll buy books online, both second-hand and new. So yeah, you name it, I'll buy books from it. Question two is, do you ever pre-order books? No, not really. The only exception to this is that a couple of times I have contributed to a couple of books on Unbound, and Unbound I think is like a independent publishing where the book gets funded by the people who pledge to buy the book. And I did this with a few of Tom Cox's books, and so you're kind of paying in advance while he's still writing the book, and you pay for whichever level of book you want to get. So a signed copy, or I think there were some which had different rewards. But anyway, I have done that before, but I don't pre-order books because I would rather go and buy them when they come out. Question three, on average, how many books do you buy a month? At the moment, it's supposed to be none, but I've had a couple of months where some books have been acquired into the house. But I would say on average in the last year, like none in a month. But if I do go back to buying books, I would hope it would only be like a couple a month. This month I have acquired one book, which was a present, and in January I think I acquired 7 books, some of which were presents. So yeah, tricky question. Question 4 is, do you use your local library? Yes, I love my local library, and recently I've been using it a lot because I've been reserving the books that I need to read for the BookTube prize and then going and getting them. There is also a fairly local library that is like the really big library on the other side of town, and that has much more selection, so I have been up there to select some books recently. But my local library in our village is a really wonderful library, and everything that I've ordered in has come in really quickly. So I do love the library system here in the south of England, and I think it's brilliant, and I think we should all support our local libraries. Question 5 is, if so, how many books can you borrow at a time? I think it might actually be 30, but it's definitely at least 15. Let me look it up. Yeah, apparently you can borrow up to 30 items at a time, including 12 DVDs or CDs. I don't use my library to borrow DVDs or CDs, but I do use it to borrow books a lot. I don't think I've ever had 30 books out of the library though, that would be too many. Number 6, what is your opinion on library books? I love them. Number 7, how do you feel about charity shop / second-hand books? I love them. Like, what's not to love? Cheap books. And what I really love with second-hand books is that sometimes you get ones that somebody's written a message to somebody else in. I love that. It's like the book has its own history that you're now a part of, or sometimes you find like a note in a book. I really love it if a book has something extra about it, telling you a bit of its history. I think that's so interesting. So yeah, love charity shop and second-hand books. Question 8, do you keep your Read and TBR pile together? Yes, for the most part. So My books are generally mixed in on the shelves. I did at the beginning of the year rearrange some of my shelves upstairs so that I've got some shelves that are just TBR books, but that didn't really work for all of my books because there's some authors where I've got some read and some unread, so I wanted to keep them together. On this shelf behind me I have got read and unread all mixed in. Yes, my TBR pile is way too big to keep separate. What I would say is when I've filmed a TBR video for the month, I do keep those books separately, so maybe in a pile somewhere, usually a pile on my table, while I'm reading them. Question 9, do you plan to read all the books you own? I hope so, but at some point there has to come a point where I might unhaul some of my books. I currently, at the time of filming, have 191 unread books, so I do begin to get the feeling as I get older that I won't get to all of them and that maybe I should just get rid of some. So I will be doing, I think, some try chapter tags later on in the year to try and shift some books that I definitely don't think I will read. Question 10. What do you do with books you own that you feel you'll never read or felt that you didn't enjoy? I unhaul them. So if I didn't enjoy a book, I will either try to sell it on, give it away to either the Little Free Library or to a friend or family member, if I think that I know someone who will enjoy it, or I will give them to charity. At the moment there's quite a lot of books in my garage that I've read and not enjoyed that I'm trying to sell on eBay, but yeah, I will give up soon and just take them all off to the charity shop. Question 11, have you ever donated books? Yes. And question 12, have you ever been on a book buying ban? Yes, frequently. I often put myself on book buying bans or set myself book buying ban limits. Like once I decided that I couldn't buy any new books until I'd read 30 of my TBR, and I managed to do that, and then I carried on. I think I maybe got to 40 and then I bought books again. Last year I went from February, I think, to June when it was my birthday without buying any new books. I didn't actually buy any new books technically on my birthday, I just got given some. And then I didn't get any more new books until Christmas, also which were gifts, not purchased by me. And the first book that I've purchased in a very long time was in January, so yeah, I try not to buy books. I have in the past year, however, bought some Agatha Christie graphic novels, which are of books that I have already read, so they haven't been added to the TBR. It's not been a complete book buying ban, but it has been pretty complete. Probably been the heftiest book buying ban I've ever been on. Question 13, do you feel you buy too many books? I feel I have in the past, and that's why I'm trying not to buy books now. So with that, we're on to the Deja Vu reread tag. Let's get straight into these questions. Number 1, do you reread and how often? Yes, I do reread. I really enjoy rereading books and revisiting books, especially books from childhood. But at the moment, I usually reread maybe one book a month, and that is usually an Agatha Christie book because I've now finished all of the Agatha Christie books. So I am on to rereading them, and yeah, I usually reread one a month with Christie Fest. Sometimes I'll reread another book in a month, but it's not usually more than about 2 in a month ever. 2, why do you or don't you reread? I do reread because I enjoy revisiting books that I've loved, or because I want to refresh my memory on something that I've read. I reread because there are books I love that I really want to read again. I don't reread as much as I should because there are just too many new books to read, too many books I haven't read yet. Question 3, what have been your favourite books to reread? Well, I'm really enjoying rereading Agatha Christie, which is a bit surprising because you would think that once you've read them, you know the motives, you know who the murderer is, and you wouldn't enjoy that, but I am enjoying them. My favourite books to reread though are books from childhood that I've reread in adulthood, such as The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Loved that on the reread, but even more so, I loved the series The Dark is Rising, which I've talked about quite a lot on my channel. When I reread that, it was brilliant, and I've got a real hankering to reread it again because I haven't reread it now for at least 10 years and I'd like to read it again. My other favourite books to reread have been Harry Potter, which I have reread numerous times. Question 3.5. What would you like to reread? I couldn't understand the question for a second there. I would like to reread the Frida Klein series by Nikki French, and I would like to reread the Dark is Rising sequence. I'd like to reread more of the Agatha Christie books than I do get through. There's quite a few that I want to revisit. Which book do you predict will be so good you'll want to reread it? I'm currently reading the Anne of Green Gables series for the first time, and I've just read Anne of Avonlea, and I do think that that is one that I will probably reread again. I read Anne of Green Gables for the first time last year, and I've already reread it this year, so I think those could be books that I could reread again. Yeah, I'm going to predict Anne of Avonlea and maybe some of the rest of that series, which I haven't read yet. Question 5. Pick a book from your younger years that would be interesting to reread. So many of them. I would really like to reread The Borrowers because I had them read to me when I was younger. I'd really like to reread Tom's Midnight Garden, which my mum also read to me. All books that I was read in childhood, I would love to reread them now. Question 6. What's a series or a book that's so big or complex that you need to reread to better understand? I don't really have one. I mean, maybe Bleak House, because it was really complicated, and when I read it took me a really long time because I wasn't used to reading Dickens, but I don't think I want to reread it anytime soon. Number 7 is which specific genre is best or worst for reread potential? Wow, you would think that mysteries would be the worst for reread potential, but I actually really enjoy revisiting my favourite mysteries. I haven't really revisited any sort of thrillers, but there are definitely thrillers that I am keeping because I would want to reread them, like the Jack Reacher series, Karen Slaughter's Grant County series I would be willing to reread again. I think best for reread potential is definitely got to be like childhood books. Fantastic reread potential with those because I think you get such a different perspective on them reading them as an adult. Number 8, name a book you liked more or less on reread. Well, I'm going to go with my Agatha Christie ones. More, I really loved A Caribbean Mystery a lot more than the first time I read it. This is a Miss Marple book, and I didn't really enjoy the Miss Marple books as much first time around because I was so into Poirot that I found the Miss Marple books sometimes a bit disappointing. But this was one that on revisit was way better than I remembered, so that one. What did I like less on reread? Sadly, I think I would have to say The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side because I loved this the first time I read it, but on a reread I could remember the main motive, and that slightly spoiled the book a bit for me. Yeah, in a way that some of the other books that I know the motive of or the murderer of haven't been spoiled. Yeah, I think that one I didn't enjoy as much, but I did still really enjoy it. Number 9 is name a book you'd like to reread before the end of the year. To be honest, probably the 2 series that I've mentioned, so the Dark is Rising sequence and the Frida Klein series I would love to reread this year. And number 10 is tag people. Alright, for both of these tags, I'm not actually going to tag anyone specific. I feel like I've been tagging people so much that they might have way too many tags to do like I do. So if you're watching this and you would really like to do the book buying tag or the Déjà Vu reread tag, please do go ahead and be tagged by me. I do hope you've enjoyed this double tag video today. Please leave me a comment down below. How do you feel about rereading, and how do you feel about book buying, and are you on a book buying ban? I'd love to know. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. More tag videos will be coming soon because I have got lots still to do. So thank you for tagging me if you have already tagged me, and I will get to your tag video soon. Thanks very much for watching today. I hope to see you all again soon for another video all about books here on Alice in the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.